What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how you can get Delta Platinum and what the benefits are of that status. That's what I am, a Delta Platinum member. It's the third highest status, and it's a lot easier to get than the third highest status in a lot of other airline companies. Delta actually has a pretty accessible airline program compared to like American or United or any of those. So we're going to be going over the benefits, going over how to get it, and yeah, that's the video for today. If you're new here though, please do subscribe, really trying to grow the channel. I think we're at 61 subscribers now, so I really appreciate all you subscribed so far. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's hop in. So yeah, like I said, Delta Platinum status is the third highest status. Silver, you need 5,000. Gold, you need 10,000. Platinum, you need 15. And Diamond, you need 28. And the reason that's important is these all sort of scale linearly, right? Silver 5, gold 10, platinum 15, and then diamond's a really big jump. And so I really like Delta Platinum status because the benefits are way more than gold and silver put together. The benefits are really, really serious by the time you get to platinum status. But you're probably not going to be able to gold. Like I'm someone who, is the sort of person who would be able to just barely eke out platinum status. Diamond, there's just no way, right? So there's a really big jump, and platinum really sits in that really happy middle ground for a lot of people. Now, we're going to go over some strategies on how to get it, but first let's just hop in and show you some of the benefits and show you why and how you need to value it. And the reason that's important is to get it is difficult, but if you understand really the value you can get from it, it makes a lot of sense, depending on who you are, of course, to go after that. So yeah, let's get into that now. Okay, the biggest benefit you get by far for Delta Platinum status is the choice benefits selection. Now, this is a lot of info. I'm going to go through them all one by one. And there's very clear strategies here that you want to employ. But, I mean, just to be totally clear, I mean, this is basically the value you get. There's a couple others, but this is really, really great, and I'll show you why in a second. So, the first thing is you can get 4 regional upgrade certificates when booked as part of Delta Vacation Package. Come on, that's nothing. You get a $400 statement credit already, right, on one of your credit cards, which you presumably have. We'll talk about that in a second. But that already, okay, base value of Delta Platinum status is $400 because they give you $400 in cash. So if you use nothing else, it's already valuable. 6,000 Starbucks reward stars. It's about 60 drinks, right? If you want to, it's about 100 drink. It is 100 stars per drink depending on the drink. 1,000 MQD accelerator, probably not useful. Gift silver medallion status to 2 members. Again, probably not useful. You don't get much from that. 30,000 bonus miles for yourself. That's approximately the same value, depending on how you value it, depending on what routes you're booking, right? If you're booking from Mexico to London or something, it's going to be a lot more valuable. If you're booking New York, LA, it's probably around the same as the $400 statement credit. $250 sustainable aviation fuel contribution. We're skipping over Delta Vacations because it's not worth anything. That's insane to me. Okay, why would you take a $250 donation instead of a $400 statement credit, which you could then donate? Doesn't make any sense. $300 Delta travel voucher. Again, stupid because you could just get cash, and a $1,500 Wheels Up credit. So I think here's the play, obviously. You go, if you're someone who uses Wheel Up, you obviously take the Wheels Up flight credit. I mean, I don't use that, but it's like NetJets. It's a private jet sort of a chartering service. So if you're someone who wants that, obviously $1,500 is really valuable. Now, the 4 regional upgrade certificates as part of a Delta Vacation Package actually can be quite good because you can basically customize your Delta Vacation Package and you get basically a guaranteed upgrade. And so I'm valuing that, I think, at that $1,000 range, right? Because a regional upgrade certificate even can be New York, LA on certain routes. So this can be extremely valuable if you know how to use it, but it's a little more complicated. Otherwise, I'm just going to take the $400 statement credit. Really, really powerful, right? That's a ton of value, $400 in cash, right? So that already sets like a complete baseline of what you're trying to recoup from all the other benefits. I've actually considered doing the gift silver medallion status. Like I said, it's not very valuable, but it's also just like cool. Just like you can give 2 people like actual status, and are they probably need to upgrade? No, but it's pretty sick. And 30,000 bonus miles is another thing I take because if you have 15% off, right, from the take off 15 benefit you get from the credit cards, that really accelerates the value of that. And if you have a bunch of other miles, you can combine them for bigger flights, obviously. So really, you're looking at these 4 regional upgrade certificates for my money. But again, some people might not want to go through the hassle of that, but I think that's really, really powerful. Or the statement credit, of course. Or of course, the miles, yeah. So you have a couple options there, but that's a ton of value here. Okay, the next big source of value that everyone sleeps on is 9 miles per dollars on qualifying flights. And the reason that's really valuable is because that's a 80% increase. So however many miles you earned, from being a normal member, that's 80% more, which is a ton. If you're spending, $5,000 on flights, you're getting what in this case 20,000 extra miles, right? So that's $250 depending on what flights you're booking of additional value. So that's really great. One really great benefit. And here's of course the biggie, right? Unlimited complimentary upgrades. Now, in my experience, you actually pretty much get these upgrades really consistently, like really, really consistently, depending on the route you fly. I often fly out some morning flights, but if you're flying a normal, daytime flight, New York, LA, maybe you won't get it. But if you're flying, Raleigh, Durham to Austin at 6 a.m., you're gonna get upgraded to first, pretty much guaranteed, right? So on a Thursday morning, some flight on that, you're getting upgraded, and it's a 5-hour prior to departure, and the only person that gets priority over you is the Diamond members. So this is like, there's not that many of them, right? So, I mean, you're in really, really good shape here. And another quick note, too, is that if you have a reserve credit card, you get pushed to the front of the line ahead of other members with the same status. So if you're really targeting this, get a reserve credit card, guaranteed. Complimentary plus upgrades. By the way, the value on this, if you're flying a lot of, let's say you're flying, 30 times a year, 30 legs, let's say, and you get, 10, 15 upgrades, that's doable, by the way, depending on the legs you fly. You're really looking at, depends on the flights. You're looking at, a enormous amount of value, right? Because it's like $300 an upgrade, which depending on the routes is reasonable. Let's say $100 an upgrade, just to lowball it. That's $1,000, right, of value right there. So that's really, really valuable, really valuable. You can get Delta One upgrades inside the US 50. Again, that one your mileage may vary on. To be honest, I've never actually gotten one. But I've heard it's possible, definitely. And then Delta Comfort Plus upgrades, you get it like immediately, like they're guaranteed if you book early enough. And in my experience as well, that is a nice benefit. A little more comfortable, but nothing to write home about. And then complimentary preferred seats is nothing as well, because you're probably getting upgraded to Comfort Plus. Anyway, in terms of the baggage fees, I don't really care that much. The only cool thing is the AW travel companions. If you're flying with a family, that's really valuable. And the Sky Priority stuff is really, really good too. This I don't value anything because I already have that. The other thing that a lot of people sleep on is the VIP phone line. That can be a lifesaver. I think you all know you've been waiting on those like phone lines for like hours, and you get through like that. It's pretty incredible. In my experience, again, I've had to wait a few times, but as someone who does have to call in, and I was stuck in JFK for like a day one time, and I called them and they sorted it out faster than everyone else was. And you also do get President Circle if you don't have an Amex Platinum card, which is good, and you get other sort of benefits, but it doesn't. Basically, you're targeting upgrades, choice benefit, and I would love to hear if any of you got Delta One upgrades. I haven't, but if you get even a single one of those, that's a $1,000+ upgrade right there. So the value you can get is insane. All right, so let's talk about how to get it. Like I said, you need 15,000 MQDs, which isn't that crazy. It's just gold and silver status put together, and gold status is really attainable. So the way you earn MQDs is, first of all, Delta Vacations. I don't take them, so unless I'm doing the play for the upgrade certificates. So just ignore that for the time being. And really, the way they intend for you to get them is $1 per 1 MQD per dollar spent on Delta, right? Which is, let's say you're flying, let's say you're flying 30 legs, or let's say you're flying 15 round trips, right, at $500 each. You're in, $7,500 right there, right? Which is reasonable for someone who's targeting the status, right? This isn't really for someone who's flying twice a year. You don't need Delta Platinum. This is for someone who's flying, every couple of weeks, every week or two. So, So, like, already you're at, let's say, 7,500. But the real way, if you're trying to get Delta Platinum status, you need to think about, and I know a lot of people are hesitant for this, is to get the suite of Delta credit cards. And the reason is, they're really valuable and they pay for themselves. Like we said, you already get, let's just forget about all the upgrades, let's forget about everything else. To get Delta Platinum status, you get $400, right? So really, the annual fees of all these put together is $2,000, which I know is really, really steep. But all you need to recoup on that is $1,600 of value. And these 4 credit cards give you 4 companion certificates, 2 of which can be used in first class, including reward fares, and 2 of which can be used in economy inside the continental United States. and also Caribbean, but I don't fly there. All right. So how much are you valuing those tickets at? If you choose it correctly and you're someone who flies with a business partner or player two, like a loved one or on vacation or something, those can be worth, in the economy section, $500 each, right? Let's say $300, right? Low ball it. And on the first class section, those can be worth a lot, right? Let's say $500, $600, $700, right? Let's call it $500 for the time being. So just on those, you get the $1,600 back you're getting. And they also come with additional resi and other credits that you can use to offset the annual fees. And if you get if you get all four of these, you get 2,500 MQDs each. So you get 10,000. Let's say you spend 5,000 on flights. Boom, already you got platinum status. But it gets even better because let's say you spend 3,000 on flights, and you spend $20,000 a year on credit cards, right? Which is a reasonable amount. It's something a lot of people will do. Every $10 you spend on a reserve card, you get an additional MQD. So if you're spending that $20,000 putting it on the business reserve, which is where you put it on because of the multipliers, you're getting obviously the miles, but you're also getting, right there, 2,000 MQDs. So you need to spend 3,000 on flights to get that platinum status. I know there's a lot of numbers flying around, but what I'm trying to say is it's doable. Like, it's seriously doable. It will take some thinking and it'll take some working. But it is not out of the realm to chase that status and hit it every year. And in Delta's case, because that credit, and also because of the nature of these credit cards, the companion certificates, you don't need insane spend to get platinum status. And you really don't need to make that much in terms of the way of compromises to offset the value and to recoup your value from this. The companion certificates alone, if you're using them all and using them cleverly, can do that. So really what I'm trying to say is, and also you get upgrade priority on here. So what I'm trying to say is, this is actually quite an accessible status. For being the second highest status in the Delta game, not including 360, which is sort of an invite-only status they have. I don't know. I think, and I'd love to hear your experiences on it. This is a kind of consuming operation. I know it's a lot of money, but I think you can justify the value. And I think that's a lot of people can justify the value. At least the people who want Delta Platinum status can justify getting all four of these credit cards. I know it's weird. I know it's a strange play. But I really, really do think a lot of people should be looking into getting all four. And I'd love to know what you guys think, though. Anyway, that's the video for today. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do subscribe down below. If you're new, I'm really trying to grow the channel. We have 61 subscribers right now. Appreciate you all if you're already subscribed. And I'll see you in the next one.